And what sort of administrations play their populace like that? Okay, I would say totalitarian states. Totalitarian states. Is Scotland a totalitarian state? Well, according to some it is, because a really good article appeared in the Times this week. Ruling elite are abusing the law. In the Times of the 24th of November, Scotland is becoming a country in which the population is forced to conform to the vision and values of the ruling elite. A book endorsed by a UK government advisor and former Supreme Court judge has claimed. Ian Mitchell, the author, warns that the country is on the road to becoming an authoritarian state. Well, I'm so glad that he pointed that out, because it's certainly on the road to becoming a one-party state, the way things are going. And his book was republished with forewords by Lord Hope, who is a former law lord and Supreme Court judge. And Mitchell here, who wrote the book, points out that the executive has gathered more and more power for itself. And the lines between the civil service and the administration have become blurred. And an excess of legislation has been introduced, which is poorly scrutinised in committees. And I like this bit. Much of the SNP government's behaviour is driven by a hyper-moralism that has had a chilling effect on freedom of speech in Scotland. And is that so true? Hyper-moralism from a sort of secular moralism. You know, it's not like a sort of Oliver Cromwell religious moralism. It's like a secular moralism. And of course, backed by a state-controlled police force whose unification threatens to render it a gendarmerie in the future. Well, it was Alex Salmond who centralised the police prior to the 2014 referendum, because he wanted to be in control of the police. If he had won the referendum and everybody had flipped their lid, he wanted to be in control of the police. And now, of course, Nicola Sturgeon is effectively in control of the police in a hierarchical, pyramidal structure. So, yeah, what we also thought was important here is that he highlighted the alleged, well, it's not alleged, it's the politicisation of the civil service. And he cites the use of civil servants to help the SNP administration to produce Scotland's future, which was that big door stopper that they produced back in 2013 on Our Money. They got the British civil service in Scotland to produce a book that was given away free to anybody who asked. And this was the British civil service in Scotland. So, yeah, we'll put that link up as well, because something has to be done about this. We cannot go in, if there was, God forbid, a second referendum, we cannot go into that with the entire might of the British civil service on the side of the Scottish National Party. That's just not acceptable. That must never happen again. And that is something that the Scottish Tories need to campaign on, and Scottish Labour too need to campaign on ensuring that the civil service in Scotland cannot be used specifically to break up the United Kingdom. It cannot be used for that. That's not its job. Its job is to help the party that's running do just like the basic sort of laws and find out and research and help them to run the country. It's not to break up the country. The British civil service must have no role in any kind of policy which acts against the integrity of the United Kingdom. That's just a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. And any British government that allows that is just being traitorous.